Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Whitehead. I am the Wisconsin Department of Transportation Statewide Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act Program Manager. I also currently serve as the Interim Transportation Alternatives Program Manager, and today I will be providing a virtual overview of the Transportation Alternatives Program, more commonly referred to as TAP, as well as provide a walkthrough of the newly developed TAPWeb portal. This slide deck and a recording of the webinar will be available for download on the TAP website for future reference. This slide outlines what will be discussed during the course of this training. The items listed are linked, so you can quickly jump to that section should you decide to return to this PowerPoint slide deck at a later time. The Transportation Alternatives Program, more commonly referred to as TAP, is a federally funded program that supports local sponsors interested in funding smaller scale projects. TAP uses federal transportation alternative set-aside contract authority and state budget authority. Its emphasis is on funding human-powered daily utilitarian transportation rather than recreational activities. Eligible projects for TAP include planning studies, non-infrastructure projects that include safe routes to school programs that take place statewide, as well as infrastructure projects such as the construction or enhancement of bicycle and pedestrian facilities. The selection of TAP projects is based on the project's perceived benefits, its utility, safety, and planning. Under Wisconsin state statute, all TAP projects must commence within 4 years of their award date. The following entities are eligible to receive federal TAP funding: local governments, tribal governments, nonprofit entities responsible for the administration of local transportation safety programs, school districts, local education agencies or schools, regional transportation authorities, natural resource or public land agencies, and public transit agencies. New to the 2026-2030 TAP program cycle will be the rollout of the online platform for application submission, which we refer to as TAPWeb. The platform is where eligible sponsors can apply for TAP funding, manage their projects, and view project documents. It is our hope that this will help streamline the process for applicants and enhance communication between local sponsors and WisDOT. By following the link found on the Wisconsin DOT TAP page or going to tap.wisconsindot.gov, applicants can find the link to register. All applicants, regardless of whether you have submitted past TAP applications, will need to register for TAPWeb. Additionally, TAPWeb is separate from WebTAS, and therefore applicants will need to create an account even if you already have a WebTAS account. Feel free to use the same email and password information if you find that helpful. Applicants will need to click on the Need to Register link seen in the lower left-hand corner of the portal sign circled in orange. This link will bring you to the registration pages. One thing I should note before continuing is that all registration requests will be reviewed by the TAP statewide program manager prior to acceptance or rejection. Please allow up to 2 business days for review before reaching out for a status request. The reset password function will become available once a user profile has been authorized. Once an applicant does click on the Need to Register link, the web page will advance the user to the self-registration page. On this page, applicants must include their first name, last name, primary phone number, and their email. Once completed, you can click on the blue Next button to advance the process. After providing your contact information, the second page of the registration process allows you to indicate the purpose and entity associated with the account. Applicants should check the box that best matches their role for the account. The following roles are available for selection: submitting or managing TAP applications and reimbursements, participating in the statewide selection committee, and participating as a TMA reviewer. Please note, most applicants will only need to check the Submit or Manage TAP Applications and Reimbursements option. Individuals who will be participating in the selection committee or as a TMA reviewer, have been asked by DOT or their respective TMAs to participate. After selecting the collect role, applicants will be asked to select their entity. The entity box is how the program connects users of the same organization and allows for collaboration on applications. Selecting an entity type will prompt a second drop-down box to be completed. The second drop-down box specifies the exact entity on whose behalf an applicant is applying. If an entity is not listed, you may select Other and write in the name of the entity. Applicants can also type into the drop-down box to allow for a quicker search. Applicants can also include additional notes for the statewide program manager to review prior to approval. This includes if an applicant is partnering with another organization on an application. Listed on this slide, as well as included in the TAPWeb manual, is a table of the entity types available with TAPWeb, as well as examples of entities included within each type. Please note the three most common entities that applicants will likely choose are municipality, nonprofit, and school district. We recognize that most individuals applying would initially think to select government local Wisconsin. However, before selecting this entity type, we suggest trying municipality first, as this will apply to more applicants. Part of the review and acceptance process is to ensure that applicants are registering and choosing the correct entity. If an applicant selects an incorrect one or types in other and provides an alternative, the statewide program manager will fix it on the back end. The reason that the correct entity is so important is because this is what links to individual accounts and allows them to collaborate on applications and other tasks. After selecting the appropriate entity, press the blue Next button to advance and submit your registration request. As mentioned earlier, WisDOT will review all profile requests before approving or denying. If approved, applicants receive an auto-generated email prompting the creation of a password for the profile. If denied, applicants receive an email notifying them of the denial. The approval email will include the TAPWeb link where applicants can create a password. After creating a password, applicants can log into TAPWeb and begin working normally. If an applicant ever forgets their password, simply click on the Reset Password button on the home screen in the bottom right-hand corner. After logging in, applicants will find themselves on the TAPWeb homepage. The homepage is where applicants can accomplish a variety of tasks, including starting an application, viewing their individualized work queue, searching their applications and awarded projects, uploading their Sponsor's Guide training certificate, and accessing TAP resources. This slide shows a snapshot of what the homepage might look like after you log in. Applications that are in progress and not yet awarded are found under the Application and Project Synopsis blue banner in the Applications in Progress section. Once a project has been awarded, that project will move into the Open Project section under the same banner. Applicants will then be able to find their project ID, their award amount, and the authorization to incur cost date. The TAP application remains largely the same as from previous cycles. The TAPWeb application and the Word document version on WisDOT's website consist of the same questions. Aside from being moved online, noticeable changes include the formatting of questions being reorganized. Past applicants will notice if referring to past applications for reference. Questions regarding census tracts and a project's municipality or census designated place have also been added. From the TAPWeb homepage, there are two ways to start an application. The first way is under the blue banner titled Program Applicant Dashboard. There is a gray button that an applicant can click. If it is shaded darker than others, then the solicitation cycle has been closed and WisDOT is not currently accepting applications. The second method is on the left-hand side panel. Applicants can click Start an Application which will open the application page. After clicking either button, a box will open asking the user whether they wish to copy a previously started or submitted application. Applicants can click on the Action button, shown on this slide, on the right-hand side of that box to duplicate a previous application. The option to select from a previous cycle is also available at the top of the box. However, no prior applications are currently available, so applications will be starting from scratch in this cycle. Alternatively, applicants can skip this step and start a new application by pressing the blue button in the lower left corner of the box. This slide displays the pop-up box we described previously, where applicants can either duplicate a previous application or skip this step and start fresh. This slide shows what the application page will look like when you start a new application. Applicants can move around the application by clicking on the small arrow button on the right-hand side of the blue banner seen above my head. You can also move through the application by clicking on the Save and Next button at the bottom of each section. This slide shows all of the sections of the application. The application is dynamic, which means it will only show the required questions and application sections based on selections made in previous sections. For example, if an applicant is applying for a bicycle pedestrian infrastructure project, the application will not require applicants to provide information on school demographics. Alternatively, if an applicant is applying for a Safe Routes to School non-infrastructure project, they will not be asked to complete the Planning Considerations section. When all the questions in a section are answered and the applicant has clicked Save and Next, the header will turn green, indicating that that section is complete. Applicants can still return to that section to make changes, however. TAPWeb was developed with applicants in mind, and we hope that it ensures efficiency, consistency, and clarity. The application is highly editable. Applicants can work on different sections at different times by clicking on Save and choosing their preferred accordion section to open. Applicants can also save and return to an application at a later time. Attachments can also be uploaded and removed. The system is also dynamic. As we discussed previously, the application customizes itself and will only show you the required questions and application sections based on selections made in previous application areas. The application will notify applicants if sections are incomplete or missing any information. TAPWeb is also collaborative. Multiple people from the same organization who have registered within the same entity can work on the same application together. Once submitted to regional staff, WIS.regional staff can also comment within the application for review and return an application for edits. The system is also much more automatic. Certain application sections, most notably the budget section, will auto-calculate sums and percentages and reduce mathematical errors. Once an application has been completed in full, the button at the very bottom of the application will become green, and applicants can submit the application for review by WIS.regional staff. If the button is grayed out, however, this indicates that the applicant has not answered all required questions. After submission to regional staff, applicants cannot modify the application unless it is returned to the applicant by WIS.regional staff. Once an applicant has submitted their application, you can submit another application. Applicants can submit more than one application. You will be asked to rate your project priority to assist the selection committee during the review and award process. You can also search for an application. If submitting more than one application, applicants can search for different applications. This feature will become increasingly useful in future cycles when looking to reference prior submitted applications. You can also view your work queue. Applicants can see the status of their application and any additional tasks associated with that application. Finally, you can upload your training guide certificate. After projects have been awarded, applicants can submit their sponsor's guide training certificate to the platform. Remember that each sponsor will need to have at least one training certificate associated with their account to receive their executed SMA. If you would like more information about TAP, you may visit any of the following websites. This slide deck and its associated hyperlinks will be made available on the wiz.tap website. Thank you everyone for your time today. We are genuinely excited for the rollout of the TAPWeb platform and hope that it will make the process easier for you, our prospective project sponsors. My contact information has been provided with this slide, so please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any additional questions. Thank you again and enjoy the rest of your day.